with me to talk about XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is the creative director of XCOM 2 over at Firaxis, Jake Solomon. Pleasure to have you here today.
This is very exciting. We finally get to talk about this, so yes, I'm very pumped. Thank you for having us.
Well then tell us, what is War of the Chosen all about?
Well, so the goal with this game really was to make something massive. So we added a ton of new enemies, lots of new soldier classes, new environments, story, strategy systems, just tons of new toys for players to engage with.
And I understand that it's an expansion that's even larger than any of the ones you've done previously.
Yeah, easily twice the size of the previous XCOM expansion. It is massive.
Well, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the content that's in there. Who are the Chosen?
The Chosen, right? You saw them, they starred in the trailer. So they were designed to be the ultimate enemies of XCOM. They are three almost champions of the alien army. And they have three very distinct personalities and three very distinct fighting styles. And the player is going to get to know those very well because over the course of a whole game, they're going to fight each of those Chosen multiple times. And the Chosen, just like the player, they get stronger over the course of the game. They learn new skills, new abilities. They even gain new procedural strengths that the player is going to have to contend with.
So in a sense, it's not like a normal enemy where you might see a Chosen in one battle and a Chosen in the next. It will be the same Chosen again and again and again, getting new strengths.
That's right. And so they always have something new up their sleeve because they're always learning sort of new tricks.
Well, you mentioned the personalities of the different Chosen. Walk me through who the Chosen are and what these strengths and weaknesses might be.
Yeah, so for example, there's the assassin, and her personality is tied up in duty and honor. She feels very honor-bound to serve her masters, her creators, and she does that, of course, by hunting down XCOM and killing soldiers, you know.
A natural expression of identity.
We're bringing back some familiar elements from earlier games, yes. Yeah. But combat-wise, she's a mix of stealth and close-quarters combat, so she can vanish from sight, and she uses that to get in close on the soldiers and use her blade. So, like the other Chosen, she's very powerful, and she has a sort of unique fighting style that the player hasn't seen before.
And we've talked about this new obstacle in the form of the Chosen. You know, mentioned the assassin. Who are the other two?
There's the hunter, that's more of a long-range sniper.
Yeah.
And then we have the warlock, which is, you know, a warlock. So, doesn't he look like a warlock? So yeah, they all have very unique skill sets, and so it's fun to fight each of them.
What about the new tools that players have in order to try to overcome this obstacle of the Chosen?
Yes, so as you saw in the trailer, XCOM is not the only resistance movement on Earth. So in War of the Chosen, you have these three factions out there, and like the Chosen, they all have distinct philosophies and distinct fighting styles. But for the player to get access to those, first they have to win those factions over. They have to recruit them to the XCOM cause. But when you do, you have access to the most powerful soldiers we've ever created. So
and we're taking a look at the Reaper right now. What's the gameplay of the Reaper?
That's right, the Reapers. So they are sort of stealth marksmen and saboteurs. Then we have the Skirmishers, which are actually defectors from the alien army.
Oh, that makes sense with the art style. Yeah, yeah.
Look at those fingers. Yeah, so they're half alien human hybrids, and they're sort of like single soldier wrecking crews. They're really powerful. And then we have the Templars, and they're the most mysterious of the factions. They are psionic wildlings, and they work a little differently because they build up power over multiple attacks that they can then unleash in more devastating abilities.
So it's sort of like a mini resource management mechanic specifically for the Templar.
It definitely is. There's trade-offs there where as they gain focus, you either want to keep it because it makes them stronger, or you can spend it on these really powerful abilities.
Now, in the trailer, we got the chance to briefly look at the Lost. And though we didn't see them too much, I wanted to get the chance for you to talk about them a little more now. Who are they?
Right, so the Lost, this comes out of the idea that the original alien invasion happened 20 years ago. And in that invasion, the aliens destroyed some of the greatest cities of the world, and we've never been back. So in War of the Chosen, we go back. And what you find there are the Lost, these handsome...
I thought that everyone in the cities died, but apparently they're alive and well. They're doing fine.
Yeah, as you can see, they've weathered the last 20 years really well. So, these are heavily mutated humans. And a single Lost is not going to pose much of a challenge.
Sure.
But unfortunately, you don't fight single loss. They move in large swarms. And so when you go into the cities, these swarms are drawn to the sound of combat, and they never stop coming. And there is a silver lining, which is that the Lost don't like aliens either. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so once the Lost show up, then everybody's fighting for their lives.
And I know that a big hallmark of the XCOM games is the sort of tactical maneuvers of the AI that, in the same way you're planning, it's planning too. But the Lost behave quite differently.
Yeah, they're mindless. So the idea is that you have this tactical combat going on against you versus the Advent, the aliens, and then all of a sudden this horde shows up and it throws everybody's plans out of whack. And then you can even have maps where they are chosen, lost, you're fighting the Advent at the same time. It makes for some very, very beautiful chaos. It is definitely unlike any other XCOM missions you've played.
Well, Jake, you're the first guest out, so I'm going to ask you the big question.
Okay.
When do we get to play it?
We get to play this. War of the Chosen comes out August 29th, so very soon.
Just 2 months.
That's right, very soon on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So people should follow XCOM on Twitter and Facebook if they want to keep up with all the latest XCOM information.
And Jake didn't want to do this, but I'm going to make him do it. Follow Jake on Twitter. It's at Solomon Jake. Follow him, say hello, and tell him you're proud to be a follower.
Yes, please, thank you. I don't like self-promotion.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
I paid
at Jake
Sean
Solomon.
for that. Thank you.
It's at Jake Solomon. At Jake Solomon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Jake Solomon, creative director of XCOM 2.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now, as some of you may know, I am not the only host at this event. Joining me to do all sorts of announcement goodies is a woman named Sonia Reed, but you may know her a little better as OMG, It's Firefox. How's it going, Sonia?
Hi. Thank you, Sean, and hello, you beautiful gamers. And whether you are checking us out online or you're hanging out with us here today, I am super excited to be here and show you guys some awesome games. And you know what? I'm not going to wait. We're just going to get right into it. I want to show you a game called Ooblets. It is going to be coming out early next year, and it is from an impressive studio of only 2 people called Glumberlands. So it's kind of a mashup between Harvest Moon meets Pokemon meets Adventure Time, but even cuter, if you can imagine that. So I'm going to show you how to grow and customize your Ooblets in this exclusive trailer.
That trailer. I'm on him.
Yes, Commander. Moving to position.
That Ooblets trailer makes me oh so happy, and the previous one you just got the chance to see is the old school tabletop game Battletech, distilled into its purest form on PC. And here to talk about it from Harebrained Schemes is Jordan Wiseman and Mitch Gittleman. Welcome, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you up on stage.
Thank you very much.
Woo! Yes, that's the spirit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, there's been a lot of games based on Battletech. Tell us about this incarnation.
By all means, Battletech is a modern, turn-based tactical game set within the MechWarrior universe. There's going to be 3 modes of play. a single-player skirmish, a multiplayer skirmish, and then our open-ended mercenary campaign.
Well, I want to hop straight into some of that single-player content by taking a journey to the Argo. I understand that, there's all sorts of combat goodies that we're going to see in a moment, but the Argo is in between missions. Walk us through what we're seeing
Right, so the Argo is a broken down hulk of a spaceship from a bygone era, and it is your mercenary command center. You could take it all over all over space, going from star system to star system, and taking mercenary jobs from all sorts of different people, from petty dictators all the way up to the great lords and ladies of the noble houses. And from there, you can also command your entire mercenary crew. There's Samiri, she's your navigator, and you command her and all of your mech warriors as you take your jobs and upgrade your ship.
I'm curious a little bit about the storyline in the single player.
Sure. So you're going to see in a few moments Lady Kamea Arano. She's a deposed ruler. Her throne was taken by her uncle, and you are going to jump in and help her regain her throne.
Of course.
It's been plunged, the whole space has been plunged into a bloody civil war.
And these, of course, are the tools of negotiation and diplomacy called battle mechs. And here in the mech bay, which is one of the key components of the Argo, you're able to customize the mechs, adding different weapons, changing out weapons and armor, heat sinks, all that kind of stuff. Yang here is your master of ceremonies. He's one of the key crew members, because fixing these mechs after you come back from combat, you're a merc. You're supposed to make money. Taking damage, sets you behind, and so that's a really delicate balancing act.
I can imagine that trying to get all the parts that you need for your ship can be a little difficult.
Absolutely. That's why things like, especially in this time in era where parts are scarce, battlefield salvage is an important part of the game, and that also gets into like when you take out an enemy, try to leave the parts you want.
Yeah, you want to hit them just hard enough to take them down. There's Lady Kamea Arano there, and she's going to be the person you work for during the campaign. But of course, when the campaign ends, the single-player story ends, you can still play the open-ended campaign, traveling around doing whatever you want. And there are the battle mechs.
Yes, now we're going to get a chance to look at the combat itself. You're coming down from the Argo, you're descending into battle. Walk me through what we're seeing.
By all means. So Battletech full 3D environment, and like a modern tactical game, the environment counts, right? Line of sight, sensors, cover. Even though you're, friggin' 30-foot tall, covered in armor, hiding in a forest still helps. It soaks off damage. And so all of those are kind of core components of any modern game, and especially facing, which is really important in this game.
Facing really matters in Battletech. Battle mechs aren't giant bags of hit points. Instead, they have 11 different armor locations. There's internal structure. They have the internal components, these critical slots filled with all sorts of important pieces. So what you're trying to do is strip off the armor from one location and then keep your facing to try and penetrate it, get to the juicy bits.
Yeah, I mean, I see this diagram at the top. It's reminiscent of the original tabletop game, which I
indeed.
actually played as a kid. And I mean, like...
As a kid, huh? Thanks, pal.
I mean, I understand the it's the same sort of idea where damaging the arm disables that weapon, but the mech can keep going.
And you keep going on, you blow that arm off, and they lose those weapons.
And the back is really juicy and tasty, too. You get around the back of a battle mech and penetrate. I said that out. We're live, right?
We'll allow it. We'll allow
there
it.
you go. What you just saw there is Melee. One of the things we're really excited about. I mean, mechs were not only weapon systems; they're giant, armored suits. And so going up and being able to slug and kick and just, even put a foot through a cockpit or death from above, jump up and slam down on mechs. All that stuff is supported in this game. And
you really want to manage your heat too. You're walking. These mechs. The pilots are sitting on a giant nuclear reactor, basically, and so you really want to watch your heat. How much?
Like this
your
guy here is
your
overheating.
different weapons do, because if you shut down in combat, you are quite vulnerable.
It's been really fascinating to watch a lot of the streams because I know you guys just went into beta. Where can the people here go to sign up to play?
Why, Sean, they can go to battletechgame.com. That's battletechgame.com. Come find us on battletechgame.com.
And if you're interested in a used mech, this is the guy to talk to.
That's right.
Now, I'd like to state again, battletechgame.com. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Jordan, Mitch, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Now, our very next game you may recognize from PC games past. To talk about it, we got Sonia in the mezzanine.
Thank you, Sean. Our next game is to come to us from our friends at Tales World Entertainment, and they have been working on an awesome open-ended action medieval RPG game, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. We're going to check out the trailer for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
Always a pleasure to have Mountain Blade 2 here at the PC Gaming Show. Now, I know we've just gotten started and we've seen XCOM and Ooblets and Battletech. We would love to hear your thoughts. Use hashtag PC Gaming Show. Let us know what you think. We'll even put some of the tweets up here live. Not all of the tweets, because that would be a disaster. Some of you on Twitter really need to pull it together. But either way, we'd be thrilled to hear your thoughts. And coming up next, we have the sequel to Total War Warhammer 1. It's Total War Warhammer 2. I'm joined by Al Bickham from Creative Assembly.
How you doing?
How's it going, Al?
Yeah, really good. Good to be here.
So tell me, what is it that's been going on since your announcement a few months ago?
Quite a lot, really. I mean, this is we're working on the second game in our trilogy. It's going to be every bit as big as the first game, but we're layering on, we're sort of doubling down on all the stuff that made the first game so fun, which is real diversification between the factions and a whole range of new kind of gameplay extras in the campaign game as well. So 4 new factions set across 4 new continents.
There's 4 new factions, is there?
Yep, 4 new factions, yep.
I thought there were 2 big ones we were talking about.
No, well, we're focusing on the High Elves and the Lizard Men at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's the Dark Elves as well, and another 4th race, which we have yet to announce.
Oh, you tease.
I know, terrible, isn't it?
Well, Al, talk to us a little bit about the High Elves and the Lizard Men.
Right, so they're both essentially working towards the same goal in the campaign game, which is to heal the Great Vortex, which is a sort of unique feature of the campaign map, which ties the whole narrative of the game together.
Right.
But even those in the Warhammer world with the same aims will inevitably come to blows at some point. So that's what we'll be showing today.
And we're going to be looking at what is called a quest battle between the High Elves and the Lizard Men. Walk us through a little bit of what we're about to see.
Okay, so this is we're about to show some footage from a quest battle for Krokgar, who's one of the legendary lords for the Lizard Men, and this is one of his quest battles, and it's the battle for the Fallen Gates. So you'll see the massed Lizard Man forces trying to oust the High Elves as they try and they're sort of meddling in an ancient power site of the Lizard Men.
Well, I'm very excited to take a look. It's going to be some in-game footage from the Battle of the Fallen Gates. September 28th, Al. That is the first time I think we've got the chance to see that official release date.
Yep, we're announcing that today. We're officially out on the 28th of September. So we're available for pre-orders now. We've got an early adopter bonus, which is a really significant sort of bunch of new content for Warhammer 1. It's a new
Awesome.
race pack, in fact. So yeah, we're out this year.
Well, I want to take a step back, and I want to have you talk a little bit about what it was that we just saw in the Battle of the Fallen Gates.
Right, so as I mentioned, this is a quest battle, and this is the Lizardmen versus the High Elves.
Right.
And this is what we've got playable here at E3 this week. So you'll be able to take control of the Lizardmen in that battle and experience that immense diversity and all the crazy stuff that's going on in their army, because they're essentially an army of ancient spacefaring dinosaurs. And they, small dinosaurs that ride big dinosaurs with Aztec space lasers, and it's playing with Warhammer.
It's just dinosaurs all the way down.
All the way up and all the way down. Yeah. So and Warhammer gives us these toys to play with, to make the game with. It's awesome.
Well, backing out of the battle, I know that the campaign map in Total War Warhammer was a big hit. What's going on with the campaign level in Warhammer 2?
So in Warhammer 2, we've got a ton of new campaign features which lead you to kind of explore and discover and gain new abilities and that kind of stuff. And it's all based around a sort of overarching narrative, so all the races are in tension right until the end. But we're also, shortly after launch, we're also releasing a free update for the game, which will bring the combined campaign map into play, which is the landmass from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 together in a gigantic campaign map where you can play any of the races that you own from both games, yeah.
Well, I understand you have presence here at E3, not just in this show, but also on the floor. What are players going to get the chance to play there?
Yep, so they can play the Battle of the Fallen Gates. We've got 2 difficulty modes, so a kind of starter difficulty mode and a veterans difficulty mode. And they'll also get to see, we're also rolling, when you play it, you'll see the actual campaign map as well. We've put a video together that details loads of the new features in the campaign map, so you can actually see that in action as well. So if you get a chance, go play. It's really good fun.
Well, Al, I want to thank you for coming out and talking to us today about
My pleasure.
Total War Warhammer 2. Once again, feel free to check it out on the E3 floor, or if you're at home, there'll be tons of footage and updates about the Battle of the Fallen Gates. Now, our next game is in the card game genre, a genre where no matter how hard I try, I wind up playing bad decks and having fun. Here to talk about the upcoming expansion for Shadowverse is Kriparian.
Hey guys, how's it going? Kriparian here. Today I want to talk to you guys about Shadowverse. Shadowverse is one of the best card games out there because it basically just does everything right. Every time I log into Shadowverse, I have an amazing experience. I can play whatever deck type, whatever deck, whatever cards, anything I want to do. And of course, every time there's new cards added to the game, this whole thing gets forwarded and really the game gets so much richer. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the worldwide debut of the Wonderland Dreams trailer.
I have a book for thee, like no other. Each page a window to a long-lost land, where fairy tales dovetail with myths, and wishes give birth to legends grand. Knights and dragons, or wistful love. Within this book, all ambitions bloom. But be warned, my fickle friend. A dark abyss awaits us all. For blood-pricked roses wishes be. But fear not to bite life's fruit, for in this land, courage is key. With bated breath, the door sweeps open, glory-bound or purged in flame. The hand you choose defines your fate. So I ask you, is this really just a game?
Thank you, Cygames, and thank you, Krip. As you know, technology is an extremely important component to games, especially with the ever-increasing power of hardware and with new demands coming from VR. Here to talk a little bit about tech in games is the leader of the software development group at Intel. It's Doug Fisher. Doug, come on out.
you doing, Sean?
Hey, thanks for joining us, Doug.
It's great to be here.
I want to thank you, Doug, for coming out, and of course, thanks to Intel for sponsoring this event. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And since Doug has a whole bunch of exciting stuff to say, I'm going to give the stage to Doug. Goodbye.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I am very excited to be here. And I'm very excited to talk to the PC gaming community about all the announcements we made this morning from Intel. I'm a software guy, you're the gamers. All these announcements are very relevant to everything we do. 2016 was an amazing year by all measures in gaming. Look at the number of live streams in Twitch, over 2 million new live streams, over 300 million esports enthusiasts, and look at the growth in VR. 2017 is going to be even more amazing. And why? Because of you. It's because of you in this room, the PC gamers. It's because of you on the broadcast. You are the ones that bring the innovation that we create. You drive us to innovate. You are on the edge of technology all the time with you. You have that instinct on what the new capabilities are that we need to deliver. And then you have this amazing, inclusive, and social environment. Young, old, male, female, tech, non-tech, millions of people getting together, inspiring each other to immerse themselves in this environment. Now, it starts at Intel with amazing hardware technology. We've talked about the launch we had 2 weeks ago of our X series platforms. Now, you gaming enthusiasts will love the Core i7X overclocking capability. It's an amazing system. And you megatasters who want to game, create, stream will love the beast of them all, the Core i9 Extreme Edition, an amazing system for this environment. Now, as a software person, I love this environment. I love this hardware. Because why? It gives software people less time waiting, more time creating that amazing content. I work with over 1 million gaming developers to ensure they take full advantage of all that innovation we put on our platforms. Whether it's working on the caching algorithms or the high-density graphics or multi-core, it doesn't matter, all the different areas, the best-known methods. We ensure these millions of developers are making the most out of that platform, delivering the best content. Then we work to market that so that all the gamers out here, the billions of gamers, know the new compelling content that's available. And this is just an example of some of the titles we work with. I'm sure you recognize a lot of these titles. These are just a few examples, whether it's Halo Wars 2 or Overwatch, or in the VR space, where it's Arizona Sunshine or The Unspoken. We're working with all these content providers to ensure they take full advantage of all those new capabilities. How many people have heard of Destiny? Yeah. I couldn't be more excited to tell you that we work with Bungie and Activision to bring Destiny 2 to the PC. Yes, we're bringing it to the PC. Yes, bring it up. That experience is absolutely amazing. And I can't think of a better person to talk about how amazing that experience is than the full-time live Twitch streamer and YouTube broadcaster. Welcome on stage, Tefty Teft. Hey, Tefty.
Hey, Doug. How you doing?
Good. Great to see you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
So you really do live, eat, breathe, sleep, dream Destiny.
I do. I play a lot of Destiny. I've got thousands of hours, hundreds of raids completions. I've built my community around Destiny on Twitch, and I'm a co-host for, one of the founding co-hosts of Destiny Community Podcast, one of the biggest podcasts specifically for Destiny. So I know a lot about Destiny, and I play a lot of it.
That's great. And so when you play it, have you experienced it on the PC yet?
I have, yeah. I got to play it at the event. I got to say, the PC experience is amazing. As somebody who's played a lot of hours in Destiny, everybody knows how is it going to transfer, how's the experience going to go from console to PC, are they going to actually be able to deliver? And I can say 100% 100% sure that the PC experience is incredible. When I got to play it, I was blown away. I popped Dawnblade, used a mouse and keyboard, and rain and fire from above. It was amazing. You guys, if you're a fan of Destiny, you're going to love Destiny 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, is anybody out here going to be able to participate and play with this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going to be on the it's going to be on the show floor. The other thing too is they've got tons of PC support as well that's being added to it. So 4K is going to be beautiful looking. It's got 21:9 ratio, uncapped frame rates. I mean, for me personally, can't wait to run it out maxed with as many frames as possible.
Well, fantastic. You guys all have a chance to take a look at it. Maybe you and I can play later today.
That'd be great.
All right.
It's good. It's going to be on the E3 show floor. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Shefty.
you. Appreciate it, Doug.
Big hand. I love that. That experience. Nothing says it like that, right? All right. So it's not just about the top 8 list titles, but also it's about the broad set of developers to participate with. The independent developers. You can